If you're in Johannesburg, we suggest you make your way to Muldersdrift for the Cellar Rats Summer Festival. It's taking place at the Bosheuvel Country Estate, where you can sample some of South Africa's finest wines, craft beers, ports and other tipples. eNCA's Lirandzu Themba is lucky enough to be there today. She joins us now. Lirandzu, a day outside with wine, beer, plenty of drinks and food. Tell us more about the atmosphere and what you can find there.
One thing I can tell you, Andrea, is that it is certainly 1 o'clock here in Muldersdrift, and it's 1 o'clock all day. We understand that about 500 people have converged or will be making their way to this particular country estate. But not only that, we know that 52 exhibitors have made their way from the Cape to Gauteng to basically give us a taste of what they're growing up there, or rather down there. But let's just get it from the people that are responsible for this amazing event. But more than anything, the person that has opened his doors, thank you so much, Mitch, for joining us this afternoon. You've opened your doors to a lot, hundreds, I would assume, of wine lovers. Tell us about your partnership with Cellar Rats.
Lirandzu, thank you very much. It's so nice that a lot of people have come to Bosheuvel Country Estate today and our affiliation to Cellar Rats. It's so exciting. I think Joburg has opened up another gem here. Thanks to Cellar Rats for their great effort to get me involved here. We're grateful. We're going to have another 2 more events through this year. We're planning one now in winter and then in spring. And yeah, we've got in excess of 500 people here enjoying themselves, just having a wow time in the country here. And we're so grateful. Thank you.
Perfect. And of course, Cellar Rats is celebrating its 18th year doing such a thing. Christopher, tell us about the beginnings of this organization.
Yeah, this is about our 18th festival. We have had 2 festivals a year. The club runs every Wednesday in Morningside. We've been going for over 30 years. And yeah, we meet about 45 to 48 times a year, exclude public holidays and everything. And quite simply, we enjoy wine, and we've been supporting it for a long, long time. And yeah, go to our website, cellarrats.co, and we enjoy it.
You're obviously responsible for this, festival, but tell us, are you one to spit out your wine after tasting, or are you one to swallow your wine after tasting?
We feel the quality of wine is generally that good. There's no need to spit it, but we do provide spittoons because we support Uber and responsible driving, all those kind of things. So people can use spittoons, but most people Uber. I certainly Uber to tastings every Wednesday night, so you can get back safely.
Thank you so much, Chris, for your time. Andrea, I think it would be very unfair to our viewers if we don't understand what it means, what it entails to be in a wine festival like this one. Excuse me, ma'am, I just want to go through. So what we're seeing here is exhibitors, as I mentioned, about 52 exhibitors have made their way to Muldersdrift. One of them is the Midvlei Wine Farm. Ben, thank you so much for joining us. Give us an indication of what to expect as a person who's coming here to your stall. How do you taste wine? What is the etiquette, really, that you put into this?
Well, the first thing is actually to make the person coming to your stand, make them feel welcome, or actually, and not actually bore them with a lot of technical stuff. People are here to enjoy wine, and the main reason, the thing is, when you look at wine, there's about 3 things you have to look at. So first of all, you pour it, and then you have to look at the color. The color will give you the indication to if it's an old wine or a young wine. So this is the Muldersdrift 2016. So it's a fairly young wine. You can see in the color, it's quite still nice and bright. And then obviously, that's sort of the
swirl around.
Swirl around, yeah. And the reason for that is you can see that the glass is tapered that will actually come up to the top. And so when you swirl it, you bring all the flavors, and then you smell it. And that is normally the second sense what you use in that, because certain wines have certain smells. This is the Muldersdrift, that is a blend of Shiraz, Pinotage and Cabernet, and you get certain flavors on that. And then obviously the best part is
everyone's favorite part, right? Which is the tasting.
There we go, the drinking part.
Well, there you have it, Andrea. These are the kind of wines that are on show. This is one of the 52 exhibitors that we have here at the Cellar Rats Wine festival that's taking place here in Muldersdrift. What I can tell you as well is that it's not just wine that's available, it's also some gin. We know that there's some port as well that's available. People, young and old, have made their way to Muldersdrift to basically try and not only just enjoy the day, but also have, some sort of more information about the sort of wines that is expected. I know that I spoke to people earlier on who were talking about how they're having such an educational lesson about the reds and the whites and the different grapes that are brought into making one of the finest wines. As we know that South Africa boasts some of the finest wine farms, but they've all come to demonstrate what they have right here in Muldersdrift.